Hi, this is Tim with Garden Hands. Spring is here, the robins are out, we're done with maple syrup. We're going to cut a little bit of firewood today. We finally got the log splitter out that Eastonmade. We've used that last fall for, I suppose we put 20 hours on that, something like that. So we're getting used to running it. As you can see, we've moved just a few logs over here with the grapple bucket. I'm going to unhook that. I'll cut this up with a chainsaw, and then I'll bring in some more wood that we've had cut over in a shed that needs to be processed or run through the log splitter. So we'll get this cut up, we'll bring a little more wood over, and then we'll get the log splitter set up and we'll run that for a little bit to show you how cool that is. So we buzzed that up. This one here was an elm, and that was a little bit punky on the inside. That cut a little bit too easy, but it'll dry out and make firewood. We can use it in the outdoor wood boiler, or we can take it over to the syrup shed and burn it there, either one. The rest of them were some hickory and a little bit of oak. So we're going to go get some more firewood out of the shed that we'd already cut, bring that down, and then we'll start running the splitter on this stuff. So. Okay, so we got our wood cut up. This is something that is something we built years ago. It's just some guardrail and some old pipe. I don't know if you can see all of it. It has a slope to it. The only thing that we'd change if we did that again is make it a little bit longer, just a foot or so, because our rock bucket or wood bucket is a little wider than what we used to have. So we're gonna get going with this. I always wear an apron. I don't know what kind of apron it is. It's leather, but it saves your clothes from wearing out quite as fast. It works kind of nice. In the wintertime, it saves your coat from getting worn out. It seems like I was always tearing the zippers out or something like that. So we'll get this wood splitter warmed up and get this chipped down and kind of show you how we go about getting our wood split here. Next we got a piece of hickory and a piece of elm and a piece of oak at the end. So we'll see how well it does on that. With this 6-way wedge, a 6-way, if we get a bigger piece, we'll usually lower it down so it'll just make 4 pieces out of it if we can. If it's up in the air and you got that extra split on the bottom, sometimes that's just enough to make it so it won't go, especially if it's an elm, something like that. But we're thinking maybe we'll get a 4-way wedge too. That way when we lower it down, we'll just have a single split and that'll help some. So we'll see how these go. So this was about 30 minutes of splitting wood here. There's roughly a pickup load, I mean in a 6.5 foot box, maybe an 8 foot box. And it went pretty good. There's some of them you gotta run through a couple of times. We split ours a little bit finer. I like it to be dry when you go in the wood boiler with it. So this is an Eastonmade 1222. It's electric start. A lot of times I use a pull start. A pull start's so easy. When we get done at night with it, we leave this extended until I get back up to the shop. There's a grease fitting down in there. It's easier to grease that fitting if this is extended. So I'll grease it when I get to the shop, and then I'll draw the ram back in when we're storing it. It's been a good log splitter. Once in a while, like I say on this 6-way wedge, we'll have to set it right down in the bottom to get a big maple. We've got some maple that's 2 feet, maybe 30 inches almost, and it's always got a knot in there someplace, it seems like. So we'll have to, a lot of times we'll cut those in half with a saw across, or lengthwise we'll cut them once so you can handle it. Otherwise, one on here, I don't know if it lifted, probably wrecked something lifting it. It's just so heavy. But if they're split in half, they're down, I don't know, I'm not that strong, but 150 pounds probably they are. You can kind of wrestle them from our slide into this, or you can get it in here and this will lift us one that's cut in half. Otherwise, it's been a great splitter so far, and I don't see why it won't last for a long time. They aren't the cheapest splitter maybe, but they're built real well. They've done a good job of engineering this stuff, so it kind of grunts and groans once in a while, but it always comes through. Once in a while you have to back up, or it won't always make a full pass, but if you hold the pressure lever or the force, the one that's driving it into it, it'll come and make it stroke. Otherwise it's always been good. The auto cycle feature on it is extremely nice. Once in a while you just have to be careful. You don't want to be sticking your hands into these things because they aren't going to forgive and they aren't going to slow up when they feel your skin. I'm sure of that. But like I say, the auto cycle part is nice. You put a piece of wood on and push that. That's all you can do to grab a piece of wood from the pile and get back here with it by the time it's back there waiting again. So it's as fast. It's a two-man machine, I think, really. I've heard one young guy anyway, not me. I'm too old for this, but it does work awfully good and it's quick. The old splitter we had was a pretty good splitter. It was a Fleet Farm, probably something like that. It was a 30-ton, and it did a good job, but I would have to say this probably splits almost 3 times as much. We did a pile that's in one of the sheds that took us 10 hours to split, and I know I would have worked for at least 3 days splitting it with that other one, and I would have been happy with it then, but boy, as fast as it did it. For what it does cost, I think it does justify if you're kind of in that mid-range of splitting wood. Maybe you're not selling it, but you're making enough to fill 1 or 2 outdoor boilers or share it with a neighbor or whatever. I think it does kind of justify the cost of it if your labor is worth, nowadays, I don't know if you'd find anybody for under $15, maybe $20 an hour that'd come and do this kind of work. You kind of can justify this thing. It's going to last. I mean, I'm going to use it for 20, maybe 30 hours at the most, and it split a lot of wood. So it's a great machine. Hats off to Andrew and the Eastonmade crew out there. They're doing a good job. Anyway, that's the end of this. Thanks for watching. I'm Tim from Garden Hands. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That'd be great. Anyway, we're having fun doing this, and thank you for watching. Have a good day. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a comment, a question, whatever you have, and like and join our Facebook, or our, not Facebook? No? Join our library club.
Our library club.